Look, I think the premise with recruitment is, can you get him better than what you've got? And I think Nicholas Jackson was okay, but just okay. I don't think he was clinical in enough of the big moments last season. So Chelsea have essentially said we need to upgrade. I like what I saw of Liam Delap last season at Ipswich, scored 12 goals in a struggling team. Little bit different from Joao Pedro, and I think that he'll play up against defenders, but he runs the channels well. He can score goals left foot, right foot, and he's an instinctive finisher and he's willing to take players on. I think Joao Pedro has a little bit of everything though, can drop deep and roam, has a great feeling for the game. So I think Chelsea essentially have upgraded on Nicholas Jackson, and they want to push for a Premier League title, so they need to get that recruitment right. Let's just wait and see.
His best scoring season, Chris, in the Premier League was last season, 10 Premier League goals, 5 of which for penalties. What sort of targets would you be setting him at the start of this season?
Well, speaking to Enzo Maresca earlier, he wants the goals to come from multiple players, not just the central striker. So I think it's about, of course, it's about goals when you're a striker, and Joao Pedro will be well aware of that. But it's also about his contribution in the build-up plan. I think he's brilliant at that. But of course, playing at Chelsea, you would expect him to get more opportunities than he certainly did at Brighton.
They've got to use both of them. They've got to use Liam Delap, give him opportunities. If Joao Pedro's not doing his thing, you know, then Liam Delap's going to get his chance, and then if he takes his chance, then he'll have a run of games. I think it's going to be both of them getting opportunities. There's plenty of football matches throughout the season, but this guy right here, what I really like about him is you can tell he loves scoring goals. He's got technical ability to create half a yard, to get his shots away, very powerful shots when he takes them as well. I really like his finishing, and I think again with Joao Pedro, you know, you look at him and you think he's got maybe a little bit more to him in terms of dropping deep and the dribbling side of things, but I think they're different players, you know, and I think it's going to be a tactical one for the manager to decide. But I really like both of them. I'm very excited to see them both perform for Chelsea.
Sorry, and if Pedro's making some decent movement, the difference is you got Parma behind you. You make some good intelligent run, Parma will pick you out.
Chelsea are prepared to consider loan proposals for Raheem Sterling as they attempt to secure the exits of 8 more players before the transfer window shuts in 2 weeks. We'll get on to Vardy in a minute, gents, but let's start with Sterling. Where is he going to end up? Could a Premier League club come in for him? What are the barriers to that?
He's got a couple of options. If he goes abroad, MLS, Saudi, whatever, yes, he could do that. They'll have to sign him. I think he can only end up in a loan deal, to be honest with you, because of his contract, because of the demands. But it's a quality player who's done it in the Premier League. He's done it for years. So consistency is there. Is he a dribbler? Yes. He's very sharp, very good. Is he a difference maker in terms of like that end product? Yes, he's done it for years. So he would be a quality player and almost a forgotten man in a certain way. But I think he still would be a great addition for a Premier League team.
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling plays in same position-ish.
Yeah.
He's only 30. It's only one more year, but no one's talking about how Raheem Sterling can have a good loan and get back into the England squad. Why is that?
Well, I think he's had a couple of opportunities now to go and do the business once he's left Manchester City, and it hasn't really worked out for him. Look, the guy's got loads of talent. We know that. He's been around the Premier League for a long time. He's been a top player. I just think that his performances just haven't been at the level that you'd expect from someone who, you know, has shown that he's a top player. And look, who says that he can't go and have a really good loan? You know, if that loan does happen or a move happens, who's to say that Raheem Sterling can't get himself back in that England squad? I don't think it's you're never going to play for England again. I just don't know if there's too many good players now who've gone way beyond what he's about as a player. And look, Raheem Sterling on his day can be a really good player, but it's just inconsistent. He just doesn't do it enough. Doesn't do it week in, week out. You know, didn't do it at Arsenal, hasn't done it at Chelsea. And, you know, you've got to look at it and say, well, where's the problem? Because you've got to do it week in, week out, and it just hasn't worked. There's too many good players now who are in front of him.
Do any of those other names particularly stand out for you? I mean, Nicholas Jackson,
I think, is a good
Ben
player.
Chilwell.
Look, Ben Chilwell, has he got the heart? You know, has he got the fire in his belly? He picks up a lot of injuries. You know, we know he's a hugely talented football player, but mate, Nicholas Jackson for me is one where I go, I would have a punt on him. I really do. They've brought in Delap and they brought in Joao Pedro. They struggled at the weekend to score goals. Nicholas Jackson's goal record is actually really good. You know, I think over the first couple of seasons, I think his goal record's better than Drogba. You know, he's a good player. All right, he might throw in a stinker and a couple of times you look at him and go, oh, he doesn't finish where he needs to when it matters. But I've watched Nicholas Jackson in a lot of games last season and go, he's all right. He is decent. I mean, who's to say that he can't go and play for a decent football club? I tell you, you put him in at Everton. If he played for Everton, he'd bang in goals week in, week out.
Is it purely because they're trying to raise funds and he is worth a lot of money?
Well, I think it's the fact they've brought in Joao Pedro and they've got Liam Delap and they look at it and say, there's our two. That's our focal point. He's now gone down the pecking order. He's looking at being number 3. But I think it's really harsh on Nicholas Jackson. Last season, they should have signed a centre forward. They didn't, and Nicholas Jackson had to be their number 1 striker. And I thought he'd done an OK job.
He just turned 24 as well.
Let's not forget the fact that they got Champions League football. Chelsea got Champions League football last season with Nicholas Jackson playing up front. I thought he'd done all right. So to now all of a sudden say they want him out, I think is a really big turnaround. And I think they've got to be a bit careful. Look, Delap's a good player, but Jackson done all right for Chelsea. I think he'd be a good signing for someone.